I want to know how you prepare for a golf tournament.
Well, I hit balls maybe 20 minutes, putt a little bit, smoke 4 or 5 cigarettes, drink 3 Diet Cokes, and go to the first tee. Some days I won't even go to the range.
Welcome in. Thank you, John Daly. It's a Friday edition of the Daily Puck Drop here on August 2nd. We are broadcasting from the Puck Sports Studios, crafted, built by Limback Lumber, Jim Moore, Northwest premier supplier of specialized lumber and molding since 1930. You remember the 30s, right? Summer is in full swing. It's a perfect time for fence and deck projects. Get in touch with Limback Lumber at 206-782-3487. I wasn't really asking a question. Visit them online at limbacklumber.com. Puck Sports Studios built by Limback Lumber. Jim Moore is here. You can follow him on Twitter at CougsGo. You can follow me at Puck2040. How are you, sir? How's your Friday?
I'm doing great. I went out on you yesterday. It was awesome.
I saw that. Yeah.
God, I had an affair. Rooftop
Good for
Joe
you.
Rooftop Joe was sensational.
Was he?
Yeah. He knew a lot about the Mariners.
Good.
Yeah, he was really good.
Where do you find Rooftop Joe's podcast? Everywhere, anywhere where you find your podcast?
Wherever you find your podcast. Hulu, Fubo.
Oh, nice.
Spotify.
It's on Hulu.
Yeah.
Good.
It's everywhere.
Shout out to Rooftop Joe.
You haven't checked it out yet.
I have not seen it. Is it out yet? I mean, has he released it?
Yeah, I linked it to my Twitter.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did you guys talk about on the Rooftop Joe podcast? Just the Mariners?
Yeah, just the Mariners. That's it. For an hour and 40 minutes,
Jesus.
Rooftop Joe kept going and going and going.
Did you take a blue pill to keep going too, or what's the deal?
Hey, Rooftop, man, come on. Bring it in for a landing.
Did you know that it was going to...
We circled the airport forever.
Did you know it was going to be that long?
No, I figured it'd be like 45 minutes.
Well, tell Rooftop Joe, hey, F off, man. I got things to do.
No, he's a nice kid. He's a nice kid.
Well, how old is he? Young guy?
Well, for me, yeah, I think he's in his 30s, early 30s maybe.
Maybe he's trying to get the 10-1 job at KJR, and he's going to butter you up.
Yeah. What are the odds that you listen to the Rooftop Joe podcast with me?
You know what? Just because you're being a smart ass and you're saying I'm
Zero.
not going to do it. Okay, I'm going to listen to it today.
No, you're not.
I'm going to write it down on my little. Do you use notepads? These little stickies?
No, but I use these. You know, I mean, you've seen me over the years, over the 2.5 years we were together. Look up. Hey.
Okay, I see the notes that you write. Yeah, they're great. You know what your notes are? It basically is what Ryan Divish wrote in the paper and Bob Condota. So I've already read it. Yes, it is. It's exactly what it is. I know what your notes are.
Let me see if you can read this or not.
Just tell me what your notes are on the Mariners. Give them to me right
now.
No,
just down here at the bottom in blue felt. Can you read that?
In blue felt, come to Papa. Yeah, because you think you're going to win your bet.
$250 come to Papa.
Yeah, you're not going to win your bet.
See that? Huh?
Yeah, you're not going to win.
I'm not going to win because it's going to be
not
an
because
injury.
of injury. You
right.
know the rules of Howell and Geno Smith. He doesn't. The bet was you're betting on Sam Howell's going to start a game this year. Okay.
Correct.
All right, but it's not because of injury to Geno Smith.
Would you have made the bet if the injury was included in that? You probably wouldn't have, would you?
No, I'm not going to, because there's a probability he gets hurt. I'm not going to make that bet. It's a stupid bet.
He's hurt already.
I don't know, man. I'll be honest with you. I'm terrible. I'm a terrible person. I don't really buy it. I'll just say it. It's just something stinks about this injury that he all of a sudden has. I'm going to play. Let's see if I can play this here for you. All right. I'm going to play a Mike McDonald from yesterday. You and I think I have a pretty good, I don't know, the sniff test, you know.
A sensor?
A sensor. Like I'm a real, are you a body language reader?
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah.
Me too. This, I learned this in college from one of my professors. Like, you see somebody like this, you see how I have my hands clasped behind my head right now? This looks like someone is really relaxed, but it actually means they're uncomfortable. So if you ever see anybody, you know, when you're talking to them and all of a sudden they put their hands behind their head, that means they're kind of uncomfortable.
Do people normally do that when they're uncomfortable? Do this?
Well, keep it in mind, and
Okay.
you'll remember what I said. But yeah, I think I'm kind of uncomfortable right now.
Are you?
Yeah. So we're gonna try and
when you got your hands behind your back, and because where your camera's focused in on it, just your head, it looks like something else is happening.
Well, what do you want? You want the rest of my body, or what?
I don't want the rest of anything. Okay, we're going to get into Mike McDonald. We got to get on the Mariners. I got to ask you about the Mitch Garver comments. I'm sure you've seen that by now. Mariners are back. They're going to play in the Phillies. We'll touch on that one. Give me a minute or so to praise Simone Biles. Just unbelievable. What happens if Mateer doesn't start? We'll talk about that.
I was talking to Stevie about that this morning.
Oh,
he even brought it up, just unsolicited. He said, "Dad, I don't even know if Mateer is going to start because
I don't know if he's
some guy with like 5 syllables in his name. That's pretty good."
Zevi, which means that I learned yesterday watching a clip from Greg Woods, who covers the team for the Spokesman Review. Zev means wolf in German. So we got a wolf at a quarterback.
Okay. All right.
Mike McDonald yesterday. So Geno Smith, he apparently got injured on Tuesday, got knocked around. But finished practice, was fine. Everybody was there, accounted that he got up, shook his leg a little bit, but was ultimately okay. Finished practice. Wasn't there Wednesday, wasn't there Thursday. And then he hasn't spoken. Then after practice yesterday, Mike McDonald is asked about Geno Smith. I believe it's Greg Bell. Greg Bell who actually asked the question to Mike McDonald about the health of Geno Smith. And
What can you tell us about your quarterback, Michael?
Yeah, he's just working through a couple things from the other day, but get some imaging tonight, and we'll see.
Expect him back tomorrow?
I don't know about tomorrow, but we'll see what comes out of when he goes and sees the doc.
Geno, imaging on what exactly?
I'll kind of keep that on the DL right now, and then we'll keep you guys updated.
Is the Geno stuff that happened in practice on Tuesday?
Yeah, I got banged up a little bit on Tuesday. That was, Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm telling you,
Yeah, but we don't know him. We don't know him yet.
Yes, we don't know him, but
is he typically short with answers?
Well, I mean, I haven't heard too many press conferences from Mike McDonald. It's probably nothing. It's probably really just the knee injury, but just something about that and
like, what are you getting at?
I don't know. I mean, first of all, he's in the last year of his contract. They're not going to pay him $38 million next season. He just saw Julian Love. He just saw Jordan Love, Tua Tagovailoa. Look at these quarterbacks getting all this money. Do you think Geno Smith, and I'm not saying he's right, looks at Tua Tagovailoa and sees a big difference in their ability as a quarterback?
No, because he's been here longer. And especially Jordan Love. Jordan Love has had, one good year?
1 year and is the highest paid quarterback player in the game. Tua Tagovailoa, $55 million this guy is getting.
Yeah.
Again, he's younger, and I get all that. I'm just telling you, I could see, and again, this is me wildly speculating, by the way, that he looks at that and goes, really? I want to get paid. He's operating under a 1-year deal. Players don't like being, especially that position, under a 1-year deal with no guarantees for the next season, and he's got 0 guarantees.
I know, but Puck, he signed that. He signed that deal.
I understand that, but they all sign it.
No,
we see these hold-ins a lot. I don't know. It feels to me like, I got a little banged up. That knee's, it's fine, but maybe it's not. Ouch. Maybe I woke up on Wednesday. I don't know. I might have to sit this one out. By the way, why don't we call the Seahawks and see if we can get maybe a few more dollars out of them? Yeah, Thursday still doesn't work.
I don't blame him if that's the case. I don't. Although I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth. Well, he signed that deal. He should honor that deal.
He should honor it.
But I get it. If I'm him, I'm thinking, wait, I'm making 25 this year, and these guys are making 50. Am I half as good as those players?
God, no, he's only making $25 million. God, that's what a rough life.
No, but if you're him,
I understand.
yeah, he should be making. What should Geno be making?
$25 million.
30 or 35?
$25 million.
But couldn't you make a case for 30 or 35 if those other guys are getting 50 plus?
Well, it's just so ridiculous, the quarterback market. It's just so out of control. Like, Tua Tagovailoa making $55 million is absurd. It's just absurd.
Now, okay, but Geno needs to be careful if he does hold out trying to get money and it's not really an injury. He needs to be careful because what if Sam Howell comes in and lights it up? Now, I know he had a slow start in training camp, a really, really, really slow start. But it sounds like he's playing better now.
It was one practice he played better.
Well, yeah, but I like to magnify that since I bet on him.
So just to clarify, this is not because I've seen people on social media saying Jim's got a chance to win the bet. It's not. The only way Jim wins the bet, it's all based on performance, not health.
No, okay, but there is one little asterisk to that.
You agreed to that.
Yes, I did, but we didn't factor in if Geno has like a long-term holdout and Sam Howell starts the first game against Denver. That was not mentioned. Huh?
Then you win the bet.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you win the bet. But again, let's speak. No one's saying he's holding out. I'm just saying that I don't know. Something sniffs off.
Don't you want him to hold out? I do. We need quarterback controversy, sports radio, sports podcast, whatever the hell you're calling what you're doing. I mean, that's
sports media.
It's good for business.
Of course, it's great for business.
I mean,
the best thing in the world would be if he was doing a hold in because he wants more money. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
God.
And then if we could hear from Geno from Dino's, while he's holding out, God, that'd be terrific. Geno from Dino's.
Sitting over here.
Yeah, these drinks have gotten a little more expensive for Geno.
Sam Howell. Hey, said
Geno,
this.
What'd you say to that officer on 405 that one night again? What was that?
Oh, yeah. Did he say? He said, "Suck my that," right?
I don't know what.
Didn't he?
Said. He was disrespectful.
I think
we love Geno though, don't we? And aren't we excited about Ryan Grubb and what he can do, and Geno throwing the long ball and
yeah, excited. But I said this yesterday to Rob Staten. On the Thursday edition of the Rob Staten Show, is that in a weird way, I gave you kind of a backhanded compliment. Not really a compliment.
No, you didn't.
Praise.
You said I was on food stamps.
Oh, you listened to the whole thing?
Yeah, that wasn't a compliment. Well, I listened to it until I ran into this hot gal on the trail this morning, and then I got sidetracked.
How hot?
For her age, she was terrific. Yeah.
And her age?
Well, like my age. Yeah.
So 60s.
In her 60s, yeah. And so I got sidetracked. We were talking about our knee operations and pickleball, stuff that old people talk about. And I tried.
Invite her back to the house
while I was talking to her, I was like, "Okay, Jim, keep your eyes on her eyes. Keep your eyes on her eyes. Don't quit looking at her legs. Don't look at her legs. But maybe
she had good legs.
But maybe, if I glanced down at her dog, I could take a quick look. Yeah.
How was everything else?
She was in really good shape.
Yeah.
I'm happily married, but I think we all, even when we're happily married, all of us look around. I know Kathy, she probably looks around.
You window shop.
Yeah, but you're not really doing it. But I was listening to Rob Staten and you, and I heard you complaining about traffic again. Like, wow.
What do you mean again?
Somebody
it was
in
one
Seattle,
time. I did it one time.
Somebody in Seattle complaining about traffic. That's
because
new.
It's ridiculous. It was 12:20 on a Tuesday, and I'm getting off 85th Street to get on I-5, and it's a parking lot. It's 12:20. What are we doing?
Okay,
what's going on?
The funniest thing, I'm never gonna wherever you want to live is fine with me. If you want to live at the North Pole, it's fine with me. I'm not going to be critical. But can we agree? And I think Ballard is a terrific place. I do. I like it. I think there's a lot of nice restaurants.
I know what you're going to say. It's a terrible place to live if you want to get to the freeway.
It's hard to get in and out of Ballard.
It's awful. I know. It's awful.
And you chose to live there. And you're bitching about traffic.
No, but it's not the traffic to get to the freeway. That's not what I'm complaining about.
Well, it still takes 20 minutes for you to get to I-5, doesn't it?
It feels like that. But I'm talking about once I got off that, off of 85th to get onto I-5 South. Why is that a parking lot at 12:20 on a Tuesday? And that's every day. First of all, when's the last? There's construction everywhere in this town right now. Everywhere you go, there's roads being torn apart. Like, they're all doing it at once. The Ballard Bridge, this is why I don't leave. The Ballard Bridge, they are redoing the entire Ballard Bridge, all of it. It is a freaking war zone. It's a war zone over there.
Yeah.
It's awful.
Yeah. Well,
I'm moving to the woods.
No, it's I've always contended they should do that work in the middle of the night. I'm sorry, but I know it's an inconvenience for the people who are doing work on the roads, but there's more people inconvenienced by what they're doing in the middle of the day than.
Yeah, I want you to go drive down next time you see someone working out there, one of those blue collar people, and tell them that. Hey, you know what? Excuse me. Hey, Frank. You got all the tattoos on you and look like you could crush about 5,000 beers and beat me up. Why don't you get your ass working at night and stop inconveniencing, the white collar people over here? All right.
Am I right? No, but I know it sounds insensitive.
You're delaying me to go hit a bucket of balls right now.
It sounds. I understand how it sounds. Very insensitive. But am I wrong?
You're 100% correct.
I'm just middle of the night. Hey, sorry. And if you don't want to do it, we'll find somebody else who will do it. No, every time I come back to Seattle now, I love hearing the traffic reports. I'm down here in Bend, and I'll listen to some of the other shows, and I hear the traffic reports. I'm like, 116 minutes from Federal Way to Seattle or whatever.
Jesus.
I'm just like,
you know what I did yesterday? Now, this one I'm not going to complain about because I did this to myself yesterday on Thursday. So I went down I was down at Georgetown Brewery. It was a meeting with the fine folks at Georgetown. So we were sitting there, and I left Georgetown at around 3:30, and I had to go pick up the vampire from, wait for it, Camano Island.
Camano Island.
So
and
just
you left
think
Georgetown
about
at 3:30.
3:30. What idiot? What moron leaves Georgetown at 3:30 and says, "You know what? It's going to be a fun drive today. Let's go up to Camano Island."
So was it stop and go all the way to Everett?
Yeah, it was terrible. I didn't get to Camano until 6:20.
6:20?
Yeah.
Middle of the night, Georgetown to Camano Island, hour and a half?
No, 3:30 in the afternoon.
No, I know, but if you were doing it in the middle of the night, hour and a half?
Hour 15.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah. Just that was fun. But here's the thing. I praised you with Rob that the best thing for the Seahawks this year, the future of the team, would be for Sam Howell to win the job. For Sam Howell to come into training camp, look great, be unbelievable, and then they're like, he's better. Let's play him. That would be the best case scenario and the reasoning is they don't have a future at quarterback. There's none. Clearly Geno Smith is not the future. Now maybe they redo a deal here and whatever, but he's still not the future. He's 33, 34 years of age. I mean, he's not the guy. Next year's draft class is it's not great, but maybe one of these guys emerge. When I hear the draft class and one of the guys mentioned in the draft class is Cam Ward, I just say, I don't think the draft class is all that good. And just move on.
You mean Heisman candidate Cam Ward?
Phil Steele has predicted that Cam Ward will win the Heisman.
You're just not buying that. You were never in on Cam Ward.
No. Never, ever, ever.
Okay, but the list of all-time good quarterbacks at Washington State, where do you put him?
I could probably come up with a list. He doesn't even crack the top 10.
He's not up there with Bledsoe or Jack Thompson or Jason Gesser.
Don't quite think he breaks
Tim
that.
Rosenbaugh.
No, Rosenbaugh's better.
How about Birnbaum? He's up there with
better.
Birnbaum. No, he's not.
You want me to do the list?
Was awful. Huh?
Bledsoe, Leaf, Thompson, Brink,
Gesser. God, Jason Gesser, how good was he?
Luke Falk.
Minshew.
Anthony Gordon was better.
Rosenbaugh
was better. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We need one more so he doesn't crack the top 10. Who are we missing?
Cleat Casper.
Cleat Casper. Oh, Mark Rippon. My God.
Mark Rippon. That's
there
right.
There you go. That is top 10. He doesn't even crack the top 10. Come on.
Okay,
Terrible.
RPM. Who was the P and who was the M?
I don't know, Jim. I was like 3. You're old enough to remember, not me.
Kerry Porter, Ruben Mays. God, what an offense we had.
So, again, listen. Now, Mateer eventually will crack that top 10. Don't you agree that if Howell were to come out, like, he's not going to do it now because he hasn't done it, and clearly Smith's the guy. But you'd want Howell to be the guy. You'd want him to win the job so you don't have to pay him any money.
Yeah.
Because these contracts are ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to pay somebody $55 million, $65 million, $70 million a year to play that position.
You know what's impressive is how we went off on that tangent about traffic, and then you remembered what we were talking about, and you pulled it back together again. You went full circle back to Sam Howell.
I wrote it down.
Yeah, that was
Go
really
back.
First down.
We need the music. Second down. What do you think of the new kickoff rules? Third down.
I saw that for the first time.
Is this a big year for DK Metcalf?
Did you watch any of that Hall of Fame game last night?
I did not. I was
disappointed. Saw one of the kickoffs.
I
saw one of the kickoffs, and it was
nothing really happened, right? It didn't.
They outlined, the zone you needed to kick it to.
The landing zone. And
everyone looked confused, and it looked like somebody was offsides, and it was just
But there were no big plays. It didn't yield any big plays. I read that none of the 8 kickoffs returned went beyond the 32.
Oh, okay.
And I was wrong about I read the rules wrong. The touchback is the 30. I thought I read it was the 20.
30. Okay.
Yeah, I thought I read it was the 20, but
all right.
Maybe when it goes out of the end zone, it's the 20. Maybe that's what I read.
That could be. Well, I think everybody's going to be trying to learn this as we go, and we probably won't know what's what until the middle of the season.
But I did get in on the Bears at +1.5. So,
but that wasn't really a winner though, because
they don't count it.
Some of the sports books weren't counting it because of the weather preventing the game from being played altogether. But anyway, Sam Howell, yeah, I think you're right. I was just, talking about like maybe in the preseason he lights it up, and if Geno's not there, and you start thinking, well, okay, he's on his 3rd year. Next year, you're still paying him on the cheap. I mean, what's the guy making? Like $800,000 or something, or $1 million?
Yeah,
I don't
think he's got enough time to do it now because he hasn't looked great in practice, and I think they're committed to Smith this year. I'm just saying that in the hypothetical best case scenario would have been that he would have come in right away and looked sensational, and they're like, okay, now we've got to make a change. Maybe you do win the bet. Maybe he does. Maybe that he looks good in the preseason and he gets better at each practice. They don't get much practice time.
Well, just like
and eventually they give him a job.
Yeah, Russell Wilson, he wasn't supposed to start his first year.
Yeah, but if you go back to that,
what's his name had the soggy arm or whatever? Who was that again?
Oh, that's right. Oh my God. Why are we blanking on the quarterback?
The soggy arm guy they brought in to start.
Jeez.
No, I know I'm drawing a blank too.
Everybody is screaming right now at the show, at the podcast. What was that guy's name? Matt something. Matt what?
Matt Flynn.
Thank you. God.
And he married Miss Louisiana.
I'm surprised. Well, let's look her up.
You remember that? I think it was And we liked
vaguely.
him. We liked him because of his wife.
Oh well, of course,
a beauty pageant gal.
Yeah, Hal makes $985,000 and makes 1.1 next season. He's an unrestricted free agent, 26. The best case scenario for this team is if he were to look great in the preseason, take the job away from Geno. Now I'll be out 250, but okay. And then is the quarterback, because then you've got to pay him anything. Because they don't have an option next season unless they redo something with Geno Smith and they bring him back.
Yeah, I figured out another reason. I'm always trying to offer insight you won't get anywhere else. Everyone knows that Sam Howell threw 21 interceptions last year and it was the worst number in the league for a starting quarterback. But why don't we factor in the fact that he threw more passes than any other quarterback? And if he had thrown fewer passes, he wouldn't have had 21 interceptions. You get where I'm coming from on that?
Yeah, it's like Revenge of the Nerds. What if dog was really spelled C-A-T? Yeah, I got you. Sure. So you're saying if they didn't make him throw more passes, he would have had less interceptions?
Correct. Yeah. Do you like that?
Oh, you want to move on to the Mariners now?
No, you're supposed to. You're supposed to say something like, "Hey,
That's
Jim,
a great point.
That's really interesting."
Yeah, that's really interesting. I haven't thought about that before. I think
didn't
next
give
week
it-
I'll
I
bring it
didn't
up
give
to Garofalo and Rob
Yeah.
Staten. You're right.
See, I saved that for you. I thought about bringing it up with Rooftop Joe, but
But you didn't do Seahawks with Rooftop Joe. All you did was Mariners with Rooftop Joe. Again, Rooftop Joe with Jim Moore, wherever you find your Rooftop Joe podcast.
I love your segments with Rob Staten. I mean, he's awesome.
Good. He's real good.
I like the way he
real
calls you Puck.
Puck.
Puck. Puck. You see
Puck.
the Seahawks. I like what I
They
see
don't
with Sam
have.
Howell.
I think what I'll see right now is they don't have a proper quarterback. I love the Brits when they say proper. God, I told them that yesterday. I said, well, I don't know what it is, but anytime you people say proper, I just kind of, I don't know. It makes me all warm inside.
Can I start calling you Puck?
Yeah, Puck. What about this Mitch Garver stuff, huh? God. So let's switch gears to the Mariners here. This Mitch Garver. I said this yesterday. I contend that, and I would step away for about a week from baseball.
I saw that. Yeah, you revived the Puck Crisis Clinic.
Yeah,
And,
I would bounce for a week. And I don't think someone said, well, it's quitting on his team. No, that guy needs a break. That guy needs a mental break because that at bat he had in the fourth inning was like, that was a give up at bat. And you hear him afterwards when you hear anyone talk that way, and I'm being dead serious here. I'm like more concerned for the person than the player. When you hear someone talk like that, it was real concerning to hear. He basically, I don't think I can get any better. I mean, he sounded really, really depressed.
Well, all the different things he said, and I know everybody knows it's wrong. He shouldn't be getting death threats, and
Of course not.
I mean, I think it's okay though to yell at, hey Mitch, you suck. I mean, stuff like that. I mean, that's natural stuff for fans to do. But yeah, I felt for him. I really felt for him. You can be skeptical and cynical and all that, and say, well, wait a minute, the guy's making $12 million a year, he's underperforming. But if you just forget about the money and think about the human element and the struggles that he's going through, yeah, I like the idea. You've mentioned, a lot of people have mentioned it. Give him a standing ovation when he shows up.
And before people go, and I said it, that's just soft Seattle. The Phillies did the same thing.
Yeah,
the Phillies did it for Trey Turner. I think it was a year ago. When he was struggling, and he ended up taking out a billboard, I believe, to thank the Philly fans. I think afterwards or beforehand, I can't remember what he did, but they gave him a standing ovation when he was in a terrible slump. He was awful. People were saying, "Oh my God, this is one of the worst signings ever." Blah 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 blah, and they gave him a standing ovation, and then it basically kind of turned his season around and turned his Phillies career around. So before people say, "Oh, it's just soft West Coast fans." The Philly fans are the hardest, toughest fans in the United States. There's no one tougher than that fan base.
Well, yeah. How about turning this into a feel-good story, from feel bad to feel good?
Yeah,
it has the potential. He does have 12 home runs. I mean, I think we lose sight of that.
Well, you need him though. That's the other thing, is you need him. So those Mariner fans who want to crush him, and again, there's, and you just said it. I think you can be critical of him. Say he has been an absolute failure for the team this year. He just has been. It's a failure of a signing. There's no other way to say it. But that, you can say that, but hey, go F yourself and go kill yourself. I mean, clearly we've crossed the line when we do that, but fans do that stuff all the time.
Yeah. Well, how cool would it be if you got a standing ovation and hit a home run in that at bat? Can you imagine how electric that place would be if that happened? Or the flip side, what if you give him a standing ovation and he gets a called strike 3? You go from cheering for him and booing all in the same at bat.
Mm-hmm.
Could you do that?
Yeah, I mean, just all of it. I would say to him, just do whatever the fans want to do. I think it'd be cool tonight. He's in the lineup. People give him a standing ovation. That's just, I mean, I think that would be I think it could. Maybe it works. Maybe it doesn't work. But if it doesn't work, so what? Okay, it didn't work. And I'm not saying it's going to work. I don't think a standing ovation is going to change everything about, his approach and how he's feeling at the plate. I just sometimes, in today's society, it's okay to tell someone, hey, we're thinking of you.
Yeah.
Hey, good job, rather than the F you, you suck. I mean, you read he doesn't post, right? He doesn't post at all. And so the last post he had, I think, at least on Twitter, is January 24th. He congratulated Joe Mauer, okay, for going into the Hall of Fame. That's his last post. And if you go into the replies, all of it is, oh, hey, good luck in Seattle, Mitch. Hey, we're going to miss you. Love you, Garv Sauce, blah, blah, blah. And then there's, Ryan at the Wing 04. Please retire. Let's see, and then there's a couple, Prime Blair at Prime Blair, who is clearly is a Seattle sports fan because he's got Devin Witherspoon in his profile picture. You fucking suck. Don't come to Seattle. Keep your bum ass in Boston.
Ooh.
It just, so there's the Chad Inman at, I don't know, Cashew, CASHU 1337. Why are you still playing baseball? You fucking suck. What a shitty hitter. What a fucking shitty hitter. So I don't know. I mean,
yeah. It's cold. It's cold out there, but I think there's more people that are not like that than people that are.
Of course. And don't you agree with this? If you were a professional athlete, I mean, you don't spend a ton of time on social media anyways, but if you were an athlete, wouldn't you be off of it?
I don't know. Maybe I'd want to see what people were saying about me. I think the thing about Garver that really, really hit home with me more than anything else is that was real relatable to all of us, because whatever we do, whatever our line of work is, there have been times where we've sucked, I mean, we just have sucked, but we don't have, well, I guess you and I have some people watching what we're doing, but I mean, for the most part, you're just going about doing your work but you go through stretches where you're probably going to suck at your job or not win a bid or whatever, and you start getting doubts. And so, that human part of it, God, you can all relate to that. As much as I want to say, Jesus Christ, Mitch, you're making $1 million a month, cry me a river. I don't want to do that, though, because I was talking to somebody yesterday. It might have been one of my kids or the dogs or whatever, but how much do you think Mitch Garver would give up of that $12 million right now to be hitting, 250 with 20 home runs and everybody talking about what a success he's been? Do you think he'd give up $6 million?
Probably. 5-6 million, probably half of it. Sure.
Yeah. So, it's sad. I just started thinking about, what he's going through. And baseball is the toughest sport of all, isn't it, for slumps? Look at Bryce Harper. He's coming in tonight. All I ever hear about Bryce Harper, how good he is. He's 1 for 30. Yeah. 1 for his last 30. And he's Bryce Harper. He's one of the best players in the game.
Toughest sport in the world, because it's every day. It's every day. The good news of it is it's every day, and so you can, if you're in a slump or for a few games, you can try and turn it around, right? There's always tomorrow. But the problem is when you're in one of these slumps like Harper is or like Garver is, it just snowballs on you. It's just constant. And
then when you're in a slump and then the flip side is when you're going well, you get the bloops that drop in. I mean, these guys, when you're a bad streak like this, you don't even get a break. You don't get a seeing eye single. You don't get a Texas leaguer. You don't get anything. You get nothing.
Yeah. This brings up something that's so random. And I only bring it up because when I listen to the games on the radio, like on the MLB at Bat app, they have all these commercials that run that do the seeing eye single and the Texas leaguer. And this guy comes on there like a commercial to explain what that is. For all you new baseball people, here's what it is. It just, that came up. But the vampire asked me a very interesting question the other day about baseball. And I had to think about it, and I don't know the answer to it. And I didn't bother to look it up, because I was going to save it for you. So when we were going over the positional numbers in baseball, okay?
Yeah.
So we're talking, pitcher one,
when you're
catcher two.
Keeping score.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Right? Everyone knows the positions. 3, first base, 4. Why is shortstop 6?
I'm just laughing because
Do you know? Is there a reason? Is there an answer that's
no, but
obvious?
that's actually a good question. That is a
Why?
good question by the
It's
vampire.
every other thing is in numerical order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 5, 7, 8, 9. Why isn't the shortstop 5, third base 6? Because left field is 7, center field is 8, right field is 9. What am I missing? I feel like I'm missing something obvious. What is it?
Well, I don't know what it is, and I think that's a fair question for Owen to ask.
Do you think there's someone that's watching or listening to this right now going, "You freaking idiots"?
No, ask Duquette when you have him on next time.
But have you ever wondered why the shortstop is 6?
I haven't. I haven't.
No, that has never come up. But he asked me that. He goes, I don't understand why if the pitcher's 1 and the catcher's 2 and first base is 3, second's 4. Why is thirds 5 and then shortstop 6? Shouldn't it just go in the?
Okay, well, if you want to wonder about that,
I don't know.
Why isn't right field 7 and left field 9?
1, 2, 3,
because if
4,
you're going
5,
around the diamond,
6.
if you're going around the diamond from first base to third base, why don't you, like when you pick up the outfield, go to right field and then go to left?
Oh, well, because if the third base, like if you're doing it, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? Oh, Jesus. I'm going to take this part out of the show. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Well, most people probably don't even know what we're talking about because if you don't,
most people know the positions.
But if you don't keep score.
How many people do you think watching and listening to this right now don't know what the numbers are in baseball? Come on.
10%, 20%?
Really? Okay. All right.
I'm just guessing, though. I'm just guessing. Okay. But like most of us, though, 6-4-3 double play, we know what that is.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
That was really interesting.
I just, when you said
Rooftop had nothing like that.
When you said seeing eye single, I thought of, oh, that's right. I was going to ask you this question about.
My kids get a kick out of that.
Ask the kids. We asked them. Ask Stevie and Mikey.
Okay.
What they think.
Yeah, and Texas Leaguer.
Well,
you don't hear that anymore. But that's basically just a bloop single.
Yeah, bloop single. 3
guys coming in and they can't quite get to it. Yeah,
Texas Leaguer.
Yeah.
The total tonight for the Mariners, they will play a game. Well, hold on. Before we move on to that, what do you think that Mitch? So standing ovation. Do you think he should take a break from Mitch Garver? What do you think they should?
No, I don't think he should take a break.
Okay.
I think he's okay. He got a day off yesterday. He's probably gonna have the day off today. The Phillies have a right-hander going. I think he'll probably be in there tomorrow though, with a lefty throwing.
Have you seen that guy throwing? This guy, Tyler
Phillips tonight.
This rookie. Oh yeah.
I see that he's 6'5" and he's got a good ERA. So
yeah, he's undefeated with an ERA. He did something that you never see in baseball anymore in his last game. He had a complete game shutout.
Complete game shutout.
You don't ever see that anymore at all.
Yeah.
And here's what was refreshing about that. And I hope maybe Scott Service pays attention sometimes. What Rob Thompson did, the Phillies manager. He was at 80 pitches in the 8th inning, and they were up 8-0. And he didn't pull him from the game. He said, go finish it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's refreshing.
So he had the complete game? He threw like 90 pitches?
Yeah, something like that. 90. I'll go back and look at it. Yeah, I don't think he even got 100. He might have got to 100, but yeah, complete game shutout. Here's the cool thing. You'll like this story. Where did he grow up? South Jersey. He was a Phillies fan. Grew up a Phillies fan.
Oh, that's great.
Went to games all the time, all of it. Now he's pitching for his hometown team. So pretty cool story.
Yeah.
You know who else is pitching tonight?
Brian Wu.
Brian Wu is pitching tonight. The total is 8.5. Take the under. We're back. We just snapped it. We're back 34-39-2 on the Bet M's under summer tour. So take the under.
For a guy who makes such good bets with me,
this is a bad one.
Yeah, I don't think so. Not with the reinforcements they have in the lineup now. Yeah. I mean, I understood where you were going. The Mariners with the pitching staff and they couldn't hit. That's why you're taking the under. But now they can hit a little bit.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see. Kikuchi goes tonight for Houston.
Who are they facing?
The Rays.
Okay.
Good God, they gave up a lot for that guy. Oh, Jesus. Good luck.
Yeah.
He can look good at times, but then just be terrible at the other times.
Yeah. No, it looks like it's going to be. What do you got? 50 games left now. It's right
Something
down
like
to the
that.
wire. Yeah.
Yeah. You want to finish it up? Let's wrap it up with Hey, What the Puck. See, I'm not going to keep you as long as Rooftop Joe did. Hey, What the Puck, as we wrap up the Daily Puck Drop here on a Friday, the DPD. The Daily Puck Drop, or the Hey, What the Puck, is brought to you by Restoration One of North Seattle, your restoration company that lets you avoid the stress of water, fire, and mold damage with their property restoration services. Locally owned and operated, make them your first call when damages affect your residential or commercial property, Jim. 206-817-8917. Visit them online at restoration1.com, the North Seattle franchise. I mentioned this before. What happens if John Mateer doesn't win the job for the Cougs? How bad is that going to make me look? That's real bad, isn't it?
Well,
damn it.
No, but still, you'll be okay with it. I think Cougar fans would be okay with it. We liked what we saw from Mateer last year, but if there's somebody that's better than him starting, that bodes well for our team, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I really want
wouldn't
Mateer
you be
to be
okay
the
with
guy.
that? Well, I know you do. God, all you talked about was Mateer last year.
That's it. It was nauseating, wasn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. I tried to be, supporting and helpful, and
you tried to be a good teammate, but you knew deep down that I was an idiot.
No, because I like Mateer. I like Mateer too. Yeah, we really need to have a good season this year. There's something that's really exciting. I bring it to the table. No, but more than ever, because we need to remain relevant to those in the bigger conferences that are thinking about. Like I like these Big 12 rumors. We really need to beat Texas Tech and Washington this year. We need to really beat those two teams on our schedule.
You're 100%. They both. John Canzano said that many times. You're right, though. I mean, it's just they both those schools have got to win and have really good seasons, because if they're not relevant, people are going to forget about them if they haven't already forgot about them today. Speaking of Washington, do you know what today is? Today is the official day. All those schools have joined the Big Ten.
Oh, I saw that at 9 o'clock our time last night.
Yeah, all the videos came out, all the promotional videos. Big Ten this, Big Ten that.
Yeah, it's God. I'm looking forward to it and not looking forward to it. Like, I mean, I looked at our schedule, and I'm going to go to Pullman. We're all going to go there.
It doesn't excite you?
No,
of course not. It shouldn't excite you.
Hey, Hawaii's in town.
Yeah,
let's go.
Man. There's going to be I was looking at it the other day. There's going to be a game where you're just like, there's going to be potentially, honestly, no one there.
We're playing Wyoming in Pullman on November 30th after we play the Beavers in Corvallis.
Yeah, there's going to be no one there.
No one. Well, kids will be coming back. That's Thanksgiving break.
That November 30th game, no one will be there.
You won't be there? You won't be there?
I mean, maybe. Maybe I'll be there.
If we're unbeaten, you'll be there. Yeah.
The October 19th game against Hawaii, I mean, I don't see how many people are going to be there. They get kind of – here's the good news for them, at least with this home schedule. It is kind of front-loaded with those home games, which is nice over there for the most part. I mean, they have 2 games in November, but at least the one against Utah State is November 9th. And Utah State's usually a pretty good football team, but, yeah, Wyoming's going to be rough.
I think so. Yeah, it's. I was talking to Stevie this morning, and he's still excited. He's going to go to all the games, but he said, a couple of his buddies are thinking about not getting that athletic pass.
Right.
That you have to buy to be able to go as a student, just because they're not excited about the opponents. It seems a little. I don't know. Do you think basketball is a little better with the West Coast Conference than
maybe a little bit better? But I think the state. We'll see. I've been season ticket holder for the last 4 years going over there. The attendance hasn't been great for the Pac-12 games. So, now that you're in the Mountain West, I think it's got potential to be even worse, especially when you're asking people to come over there, stay 2 nights in a hotel, if that's what you do, and charging the same price to go watch Hawaii play.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people are going to opt out. I think it has the potential to be really bad. Now, I hope I'm wrong, but we'll see.
They didn't raise ticket prices, did they?
No, they were roughly the same. Yeah, roughly the same.
Okay, but hotels, they're going to have to come down a little bit, I think.
But they won't. They won't. I'm trying to go over next week. I want to go watch practice, and I looked at a hotel. It's $300 a night next week.
Well,
For
Parents
what?
Weekend's in September, and I know we're going for that, but I mean, who knows? We might be, staying in Dusty or something.
Staying dusty. Hey, you made fun of here on Hey What the Puck. You made fun of my traffic video, right? What's the worst stretch of traffic for you in Seattle? Worst stretch. My worst stretch of traffic is where I get on. I told you that 85th exit I-5 that runs right by UW. From there all the way through downtown. That to me is the worst stretch of traffic.
I would put southbound 405 through Bellevue at any time of the day up against 85th.
Good
and
call.
I think I'd be like a 3-point favorite on that.
I think you're right. I think you're right. Good call on that one. Yeah, that's terrible. That is awful. It's all awful. Yeah, good. What's the worst traffic in Bend? Is there any traffic in Bend at all?
Sometimes when the kids are getting out of school right around 3 o'clock, there's a little bit of a backup getting into the roundabouts, especially on Reed Market. But
what a tough life.
You have to wait like 2 or 3 minutes maybe.
Yeah.
And you can, anywhere in town, you can be there in 15 minutes. There's golf courses around within 15 minutes. And you would like it here.
A couple of minutes delayed to get to your brewery with your dog and your Patagonia jacket on and maybe go hit a bucket of balls.
Was at the Silver Moon last night.
Oh, I love the Silver Moon. Great spot.
Trivia contest. And
there you go.
Yeah, it was fun.
Are you a pumpkin spice person? You know how we get into pumpkin spice, and all that fall flavor. Starbucks, it's getting earlier and earlier. Starbucks is coming out with it now. It's August 22nd. It's coming out. It's coming out in 20 days.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Well, but it's just like when you go. It's just like when you go into Bartell's or Rite Aid. You'll see the Halloween cards already, and for Valentine's Day, you start seeing it in January, and they're trying to get a jump on it.
Okay. Yep. What are the big plans for you in Bend today? What's the weekend plans in Bend, Oregon?
Oh, I got a good one. A good one. The kids are going. They're leaving for Pullman next week, and so we're down to it. And so we're trying to cram in a bunch of different fun things to do. I think we're going to go zip lining up at Mount Bachelor.
Oh, that's very cool.
That's what we're going to do today.
Nice.
Yeah. Zip lining. The neighbor thing, if you want an update on the neighbor thing.
Yes, neighbor update.
Well, we had the rental agency guy come by yesterday to try and fix a problem we're having with a fan in the bathroom. But we're not really supposed to have dogs at our house. And they're aware that we have dogs. It said no pets when we rented the place. And then we kind of snuck them in like, in a hotel, when you have a dog and you smuggle them in. We're just doing it long term. Anyway, so I thought, God, before I see Puck again, I got to go get the guy a gift card. But the rental agency said that the guy called the owner of the house and he's really upset about the dogs being in the cul-de-sac. And so I changed my mind on getting him a gift card. Is that okay?
Sure. So now there's a war. There's a war going on between you and now the neighbors across the street because they narked on you.
Yeah, and I'm kind of torn on, whether the owner is going to be upset about us having dogs here. And if he is and wants to evict us, then I think I'd be okay with that because, there's some things about this house that Daddy's not completely comfortable with.
Yeah, well, this is good. So by next week, maybe we might have Hobo Jim in Bend. God, this is good. Yeah. Well, he has every right to kick you out if it said on the rental agreement, no pets, and you brought pets in. Yeah. He wanted no pets.
No, that's true. And that's really, really bad of me. And I should
standard
not be able
for
to
what
sleep
you
at
do.
Night. Yeah. Thank you.
I do enjoy that the neighbor narked on you, though. That's classic.
Well, God, what a pussy, man. Just say it to me.
You can't remember we agreed not to say that anymore?
I know, but he qualifies. Okay. I'm going to call the owner. Okay, all right. But I know I'm in the wrong, though. I'm in the wrong. I need to be a better neighbor, and right now the dogs are in my driveway, and I'm being a good neighbor.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Enjoy zip lining. We'll talk to you on Monday, Jim.
All right, Puck. Take care. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, there he is, Daily Puck Drop with Jim Moore, your daily sports fix. We do it every day at 10 a.m. All guests content released at 1 o'clock, including Ryan Divish and Chris Egan coming up later today. You can stay connected by liking, following, subscribing, YouTube, Apple, Spotify, wherever you find your podcasts. And, of course, all of the content up at pucksports.com. We'll talk to you later. As always, we promise to be better.
No shirt, no shoes, no dice.
Would anybody like to smoke some pot?
Yeah. I was born to love you. I was born to
lick your face. I was born to rub you, but you were born to rub me first.
What do you need my address for?
We'd like to send out a mailer.
Mother of mercy, I don't speak Japanese!